Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World. We have found ourselves facing another Monday, meaning you know what time it is. Wayne Sharp Week, highlighting the knives that are going to be in my pocket for the next 5 days. Now, before I get into this, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Also, bring these retailers right here your business: DLT Trading, Mojave Outdoor, and White Mountain Knives. I really appreciate their support of this channel. It'd be very hard for me to do what I do without their help. So look these guys up. They're all great retailers with great people working at them. Now, let's get into it and take a look at the knives I'm going to have in my pocket for this upcoming week of Monday, February, blah, 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 blah. The 7th? Is it the 7th? It's something like that. We just started February. I'm already losing track of my days. So if that gives you any idea of how busy I am, there you go. Let's get into it. Let's start with this guy right here. This is the Finch Devil's Finger. Still arguably my favorite Finch. I'm really torn between the Devil's Finger and the Drifter. Definitely my two favorite designs from Finch. I'm really loving those two. I'm positive the Devil's Finger is still available, and I believe the Drifter is still available at a few places too. Both excellent knives, but especially this Devil's Finger. It's just a little longer, a little bigger for me. Really love this kind of a drop point, Warncliffe type of blade. Some could call it a modified Warncliffe. A lot of people would call it a drop point. Whatever it is, it's gorgeous. And it has a great edge. A little thicker. I don't want to say thick, but, 20, I think it was 24,000, something like that. So kind of an average edge, but it works just fine. Works great for me. I just love this blade profile. Love the little swedge here. The handle is somewhat neutral, but still feels really good, especially with that choilish area that Finch gives on the knife, as well as the jimping on the back and on the actual handle itself. Gives you a lot of traction to grip this knife with. The micarta feels good. Always like that Finch logo. There's not a lot of companies, I've said this before, there's not a lot of companies that can pull something like this off, but Finch just kind of, they hit that sweet spot with something like this, and they don't go too overboard with it. And it's really kind of a nice place to have it. Just a little branding on the blade, a clean pivot, and their emblem on the handle. It's not something I want to see on every knife, but I like the way Finch does it, and it just works for me in this case. So take it for how you want, but I like it. You have a very nice deep carry pocket clip. And it's another one, guys. It just works. It's nothing that's gonna blow your socks off, but it's just a really, really good, solid knife. Nice, thick hand. Not thick, but, well, it is kind of thick, but more sturdy than anything. You got the nice liners inside with some milling to reduce a little weight. But more than anything, just a very, very solid handle. That doesn't have much flex, if any at all, and just feels great in hand. To top it all off, you have action that is just fantastic. It's for a flipper, for a pure flipper, it's pretty fidgety. It has some really nice acoustics, and it just looks good, feels good, carries good. It's really hard to knock this knife, the Finch Devil's Finger. Next up, I'm going to bring these next two knives up together. And you've seen them recently. I actually saw them last week. These two knives right here, this here is the Kizer T1. And this one here is a Mojave Outdoor exclusive, so you can only get it at Mojave Outdoor, or Mojave Outdoor sells them on Amazon as well. So if you see them on Amazon, you're buying from Mojave Outdoor, which means you can use Wayne's World for 10% off. But this is arguably the best knife that has ever been introduced into the Kizer Vanguard lineup. And then you have the Civivi Altus, the second Civivi button lock. What do these two knives have in common? Outside of both being knives and Chinese production knives from two of the biggest knife manufacturers in the world, these are two knives that are both well under $100. This guy's coming in at $72. This guy, I believe, is coming in at $69 or $79, something like that. These are two knives that are under $100 that make me almost as happy as carrying some of the knives you're going to see next on this list, because it's hard to explain. I mean, as a collector myself, and probably a lot of you guys, you're used to spending, a lot of us are, we don't love doing it, but we'll spend a couple hundred, maybe even up to $300 on a knife. And you get that knife and it feels good and you love it and you're happy. But I tell you what, there is something about a knife under $100 as good as either one of these. These are both fantastic for their own reason, that just make me really happy knowing that I spent under $100 on this. Or this. I spent $72 on this. I spent $69, $79 on this. And I got something that is just fantastic quality, excellent action, looks gorgeous, fidget beast, an absolute fidget beast in the Cogent. But both of these knives, they just make me happy. And they're fantastic, fantastic knives under $100. Two of my all-time favorite knives under $100 I've ever handled. They're gorgeous and they're good. This Altus right here, I'm here to tell you guys, I like this more than the Cogent. I didn't think I would. This is by far my favorite Civivi button lock, and this one is rivaling the Brazen for my favorite Civivi. I can't say it's there yet, but it's still making its way to the top. The fidget factor on this knife, the detent in this button lock is perfect. If you guys are looking for a smaller button lock knife, around 3 inches, this is like 2.99 inch blade, this is it. I'm here to tell you this is it. This is an absolutely excellent knife, and I've just continued to like it more and more as I carry it. It's almost as easy to close as the Malibu. It might be there, actually. I'm just talking, middle finger flicking this, and it falls in place almost every time. It's just an excellent, excellent offering from Civivi, and easily one of my favorites. I would recommend it over the Cogent. And then this Kizer T1 is just so fast on deployment. It feels assisted every time to kick that to middle finger flick it, or really just middle finger push it out. It's so just addictive. The fidget factor on this for just thumb studs is so addictive and so good. The micarta on this is to die for. Excellent micarta. 154 cm steel. The only thing that I would change about this knife is I really wish they had a stone-washed version of the blade or a black wash. I'm getting kind of tired of Kizer's like full black coating on their blades. That's the only, if there was one knock I have on Kizer, it would be that, the full black coating on the blades. I really wish, they do a really good black wash that's fantastic. It brings out the lines on the grind and just really gives the knife a lot of character, almost a little extra patinaed look. I love the way it looks. But I also like their stone wash. Either one is fine. But the full black coating, I'm getting a little tired of. I've always been very vocal about the fact that I don't really like totally black coated blades from anyone. But other than that, I love this T1 as well. To me, it's almost a better buy than the premium version, unless you just really love titanium NS35, because the action is just there. There's everything about this knife. It's good, it's solid, it's good to go. Both of these knives. There's not a lot of knives that I just really want to carry every week, but when you get to knives under $100 that are this good, this fidgety, this high quality, it's hard to go wrong with either one of them. So I'm going to have both the T1 and the Altus back in the pocket this week. And next up, I have a new knife acquisition. Recently, you guys saw my my review of the TRM Shadow. Well, I won the lottery and I got one. So I'm so happy to finally have one of these. This one is just as smooth as the one I reviewed. It just needs a little breaking in, but I am still just so happy to have this. So happy to have it in hand, finally have one in the collection. This is one that I'll probably never sell unless I can get my hands on a titanium version. In that case, I'd probably have to go with the titanium version because I love titanium. But what you have here is just an excellent blade, super thin and slicey, CPM 20 CV steel, and just details. Details for days, guys, all over this knife. They did a good job of putting that filler tab in there. The river lock is fantastic. Love this pivot here too. Like that really clean design on the pivot. Nice deep carry clip. Excellent done deep carry clip. Perfect in about every way it can be. And yeah, made in America. So just an excellent knife, guys. These are hard to get right now. I know. I believe me, I get the frustration because I was part of that for months and months trying to get one of these. And I was just one of the lucky 25 out of 800 people to get one. So yeah, it's great. Blade centering is on point. It's just an excellent piece. One of the best USA made knives you can get is right here in the TRM Shadow. It kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of killing my desire to get some other knives because I know I'm going to carry this one so much. So just really love it, the TRM Shadow. And last up here, a grill knife for me that I acquired recently. This is the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest in gold matter, dark gold, dark matter, fat carbon fiber, a front flipper designed by Brian Nadeau. And this is one easily, I don't want to say too much because I still have a full review coming, but this is one of my favorite knives ever for a few reasons. I'll highlight all that in the review on why I think it, why I know it. I don't think it, I know it. Just an extraordinary amount of sexiness and detail and quality, and it's a lot of good things in a relatively small package for what you're getting in this knife. It's just good. It just feels good, and it is one that I'm very, very, very happy to have in the collection. So closing it out with a bang on front flipper Friday with the Sharp by Designs Mini Tempest, and then we're also going to bring in some other American-made goodness along with some other budget goodness. So here you go, guys. Here's what is in my pocket for this upcoming week. As always, I love hearing what's in your guys' pocket. Let me know what you're going to be carrying. A lot of these, there's some new knives for this year. Let me know what are the knives coming out this year you guys really excited about too. I think it's going to be a really good year in the industry again. Really looking forward to it. Let me get that feedback, guys. I hope you have a great week. And until the next one, I'm out.